All right, ready? Here we go. That's a whiskey. Welcome back to the Bottom Shelf. I'm Josh.
I'm Keith.
And I'm Erik.
And we're going to drink more whiskey, and Joyce is going to tell you about that whiskey right now.
Today you are drinking the famous Grouse Smoky Black. The famous Grouse is well known for their blended Scotch as one of the top-selling Scotches in the world. The Smoky Black blend features peated whiskey from Glenturret Distillery, expanding the famous Grouse range. The bottle depicts a Taro Teryx, more commonly known as the Black Grouse. The famous Grouse Smoky Black comes in at 80 proof and retails for around $25. As always, your prices may vary. Enjoy.
All right, thanks, Joyce. We're going to go ahead and see what they think. Start with the nose on it. Wow.
Ooh. Straight caramel.
It's a very pungent nose. It's very very bold.
Yeah. Pungent is exactly the word I would use.
Caramel, sweet toffee. Like you said, pungent, bold. That nose announces itself.
Yeah, it does.
Smoky.
Yeah.
I'm diving right in.
Yeah, all right.
That nose is saying taste me, so I'm tasting.
Before I dive in, I do want to say I'm also getting some honey on the nose.
Yeah, I can say that. It's some sort of syrupy thickness, like a toffee or like toffee, caramel, honey. Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely smoky on the palate.
Yes.
There's something else there.
And it lingers.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a light spice.
Yeah, but not a wood spice.
No.
I can't tell if it's a baking spice or a peppery spice.
I was going to say peppery.
I would lean more towards peppery, yeah.
Almost peppercorn? No, not peppercorn. No, it's like a chili.
Yeah.
I'm getting a sweet pepper finish. Like a pepper jelly kind of finish to it.
For me, it's like an ashy aftertaste. But not in any bad way. Like the way your clothes smell after a good campfire.
Yes. Yes.
But I think the nose is still caramely. Sweet. A little bit thinner though, going back. We haven't added water yet, but just going back after the taste. I feel like it's a little bit thinner now.
A liquid caramel, like a caramello bar or something. I'm getting a little bit of cocoa on the nose too.
Ready for some water?
Yes.
While the water mingles, you know what's happening. We're telling you about our homes on the internet. We want to hear from you. Down in the comments, on our social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, where you can follow us at Bottom Shelf Whiskey. Or on Twitter, where you can talk to Keith mostly.
Almost entirely.
But you can talk to him through his handle for our channel at Shelf Whiskey. And now, with all that being said, I'm going to add, before we dive into this again, that you can buy this bottle on Drizly, down the link below, which will also help the channel. So thank you. All right, now we can jump in and see what the water did here. Brought forward the caramel with a little bit of smoke.
Yeah, I was going to say, it took out the edge of the sweetness. I'm still getting that honey, caramel, and smoke. It's not quite as bold or pungent.
I feel like
it's still good.
The sweetness in the middle is brought up, but yeah, the edges, how the smoke is kind of closed in on the sweetness a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it brought a little more smoke forward. I'm still getting that caramel sweetness. Not as bold, like you said.
It's just not quite, it's like a sharp sweetness.
Right.
I don't think it did a whole lot. I think
it mellowed it out a little bit.
But not necessarily to the point of it being bad.
Right.
It brought down, I think, the sharp spice notes a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of softened, is the word I'm going to use, softened the caramel.
Mm-hmm.
In a good way.
Yes, in a good way. Not that you would think of caramel being a sharp note, but instead of being that's pronounced caramel, the caramel's softened out a little bit. But the caramel's still there in the nose, and
Yeah.
Is there a finish?
Oh yeah, there's a finish.
The water actually made the finish more astringent.
I don't have a finish.
I was going to actually say pretty much the opposite, and it's just made it more mellow. It's still a medium finish. It was medium long. Now it's more medium.
Oh, it's
and it's
short now.
light.
Yeah. I'd say that. Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
But I find it drying.
Yes.
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 It is dry.
It's
Okay.
astringent.
Yeah.
For me, dry and astringent are the same thing, but I would say it is drying my mouth out. All right. Are you ready for some ratings?
I'm ready for some ratings.
All right. What do you got in the nose?
I love the nose. 4.5. Smokiness, it was bold. Like I said at the very beginning, it's just saying, drink me, which I couldn't wait to do.
I agree with you completely. I only gave it a 4 on the nose. But it was a very inviting nose.
I gave it a 3.5. 2.5. All right. And then palate?
Palate slightly drops off. I was expecting so much more with the nose than what I got. So I'm going to a 4. I still thought the flavor profiles were great, but just not what I expected because the nose was so inviting.
See, I differ from you here, whereas you went down by half a step, I went up by half a step, and I gave it a 4.5 on palate. The nose was very inviting, and then the palate brought through everything I wanted it to.
I also went up half a step from the nose to the palate, which I think this may be because palate is where you actually get to kind of taste it and stuff. But I gave it a 4, and I liked it. It was sweet, but yet still had that smokiness as well. Finish.
I'm going back up to a 4.5 on this. I thought it was an excellent finish. Very well timed for what this was. What you smelled is what you tasted, and it was what you got on the finish as well. Very excellent all-around whiskey.
For me, the finish dropped off a little bit. I gave it a 3.5 on the finish. It brought so much on the nose and on the palate, and then just kind of left me wanting more on the finish, but not much more. Still a very good finish.
It dropped off for me quite a bit on the finish. I liked the finish, but I just thought it could, kind of you're saying, have more than what it had. And it was super short. As far as timing goes, I mean, I feel like it could be longer. In general, I don't find longness usually to be I can't even think of a time I thought a long finish was a bad thing. So I usually just prefer, again, this may be a preference thing, where I just prefer longer finishes in general. I thought this was a fairly short finish. So, yeah, so I gave it a 2.5.
Ooh, that's a drop.
Yeah. Erik, and so let's go ahead and talk about your guesses on what you think this is. We want to know what kind of whiskey you think this is, what the proof you believe is, how much you think retail is, and then how much you would be willing to pay for it.
The smokiness that I'm getting out of it, I got a little bit of peat, I think, on the palate. Lends me to a Scotch. I'm going Highland. Scotch, not blended. No, change that. I'm going to go blended Scotch. And I am going to say 86 proof, $24 to $26 retail, and I would pay $24 to $26.
Well, I'm not too far off of you there. I originally was going to say 80 proof. I changed my mind here. I'm going to say 84 proof. But I'm going to say it's an 84 proof blended Scotch. At first, I wanted to say Highland, but I'm saying blended. I'm going to say retail for 26. I would pay 26 to 28.
All right, real quick, you guys both wanted to guess Highland. I want to know why.
Gut feeling.
Good.
With me, I associate peat, smoke, and Highland. I might be wrong.
It may be some subconscious thing for me.
I am very uneducated about scotches yet.
Sure. Understood. Okay. As someone who has done a lot of research and stuff, I do not associate Highland with peat, even though some do. I always associate peat with Islay. So, all right. Well, anyways, here we go. Let's dive in.
Which I do too, but I also realize there's not too many Islays in our price range. So
Right.
That's fair. You guys both said blended Scotch.
Mm-hmm.
You're both correct. It is an 80 proof. All right. Well, the price is $25. Ratings. Distiller gave this an 82. Whiskey Advocate in 89, and Wine Enthusiast in 91.
Those second two are close to what I think they should be.
On the nose, general consensus was smoke, peat, caramel, apple, malt, and fruit. Palate, smoke, spice, grain, fruit, peat, caramel, oak, anise, and vanilla. And then finish, smoke, peat, oak, spice.
Anise. Interesting.
Today, you all drank Famous Grouse Smoky Black.
Holy crap, that's better than the original.
Yeah.
I also really like this bottle.
It's not much different than the other one.
It's this portion. Oh, that has the same thing. I don't know. That is the same bottle, just with different labels on it.
I will agree that the Smoky Black one has a better label.
That label just is
Doesn't look as
amazingly
generic.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Black
yeah,
label,
it is the
black
same
Grouse.
bottle with
Yeah.
just different labeling.
3 years old, at least, because it's Scotch. Basically, because it's from anywhere but America. Produced by... I meant to actually grab this from the bottle. Apparently I forgot. No, let's see it. There is, I know, a place in Scotland called the Famous Grouse Experience. And that's basically where they're headquartered from. And something to note, in case you're looking around for older views from other places and such, this used to be called Black Grouse, not Famous Grouse Smoky Black. Unfortunately for our Pittsburgh viewers, as far as I'm aware, last I checked, this is not available in the Pennsylvania stores. So for those of you who cross borders sometimes, I believe I got mine in Ohio. I don't know about our surrounding states though, like in the rest of the Pennsylvania area. All right, so that is our third peated blended Scotch. I'm not including the blended malt. We're not going to include Shackleton in this. So we got Famous Grouse, Johnny Walker Red, and Teachers. And we're just waiting for one more. And once we have those four, we will do a peated blended Scotch budget brawl. And based on their reactions to every single peated Scotch we've done so far, this is probably going to be a hard battle for them to figure out which one's which. Or which one they like better.
But one I'm definitely looking forward to.
Absolutely.
I will say, I feel like the more and more we do reviews, the more and more I'm like, maybe Keith isn't a bourbon guy. Maybe he's a Scotch guy. Or a peated Scotch guy.
Peated Scotch, yes.
I think if I'm drinking it neat, or even with a little bit of water, not in a cocktail, blended Scotch all the way. If I'm drinking it in a cocktail, I don't want blended Scotch. I don't want blended Scotch in cocktails.
No? Well, do you want any Scotch in cocktails?
Not really, no.
I do.
It just doesn't feel right to me.
I have heard that smoky Coke is really good.
I was just going to mention that you've mentioned that to me a couple times.
Huh.
Now, I don't know if this is smoky enough to show up in a smoky Coke.
Yeah, I think I'd want something a little bit smokier than this.
This is also the first blended peated Scotch that you guys have said
We
peat.
said smoke or peat.
Yeah. Yeah, the other two you guys didn't mention at all.
This one came, I think the smoke hit hard
Yeah.
on this one.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Well, if you like what we're doing, again, hit the like button, leave us a comment, subscribe, and we'd love to hear from you. And until next time, may the winds of fortune sail you.
May you sail a gentle sea.
May it always be the other guy who says,
This drink's on me.